Hello world, from whichever time zone you're catching me from, my name is MD90. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell notification to all so that you do not miss the uploads that come up. And the easiest way for you to navigate the channel is to head to the playlist. You'll find videos curated for you based on your interest. So if you're interested in the Kutika podcast, you'll find a playlist for that. For news and trends, there's a playlist for that. Exclusive with MD90, a bunch of playlists that are created based on your interest. So the easiest way to navigate the channel is head straight to the playlist and you'll find what you're here for. Consider becoming a member of the channel. Right next to the subscribe button is a join button. You click on the join button so that you can become a member of the channel. You support the team on the production and a number of things that we're doing here, and we appreciate that. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. So President Hakainde Hichilema has made a statement. He signed the book of condolences at the Namibian embassy in Lusaka here in Zambia. They've lost their president. So this is the message that the president of Zambia wrote. So he says, "We, the people of Zambia, offer our sincere, heartfelt condolences to the family and government of the people of Namibia on the loss of the president. To us, President of Namibia was a better, a brother, senior president in the SADC and AU, and a freedom fighter. He always talked about doing the best for the people of Namibia, SADC and AU, and the world. We will greatly miss him, or he will be greatly missed." And then he signs it off. President Hakainde Hichilema, President of the Republic of Zambia, signed. So this is when you're signing the book of condolences earlier on at the embassy. And then some people have been having a conversation. This is what they say. This is Isaac Soneka. He says, "Colleagues, praise singers, when do you think your boss, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, will appoint a new Minister of Foreign Affairs, or was Stanley Kakubo so good that no one out of the 64 UPND mayor MPs can replace him?" And then the Smart Eagles also comment on that to say, "Could it be that he does not like making ministerial appointments? And even Lapola took 2 months plus." So simply people having a conversation to say, is it that President Hakainde Hichilema does not want to make a new appointment to the position? Does not want to make a new appointment to the position, or is it that he does not enjoy making these appointments? Because the person that has been acting as Minister of Foreign Affairs, that's Haimbe, the gentleman in the back on the picture. There were in sunglasses there. So this is earlier on when the president visited the Namibian embassy where he signed the book of condolences. So people are asking to say, when is he going to appoint a new Minister of Foreign Affairs? Because Himbe is acting as, he's actually Minister of Justice and also acting as Minister of Foreign Affairs. But then again, this conversation, the president is not obliged to actually appoint an individual. It's the preview of his office. He can either decide to appoint or not. So it's in my view, it's not the view. I mean, it's not that necessary to have that conversation unless if there is a deficiency. But so far, Himba has been doing his job. Yeah. So even if the president decides not to appoint anyone, because if you remember earlier on, President Lungu, prior to him becoming the president of Zambia, was Minister of Justice, Minister of person in that office. But otherwise, the fact that the office is functioning and there's no deficiency, I see no need for him to rush. Let him take his time. He's the president. It is what it is. What is the cost of living? This was posted by the Patriotic Fund, but it was issued by the Jesuit Center for Theological Reflection. So it says the cost of living jumps from 9,550, or jumps to 9,550. So according to the Jesuit Center for Theological Reflection, the cost of living for a family of 5 in Lusaka stands at 9,553. The beginning of the year 2024 has been marked by a deepening crisis of previous and anticipated, as previously anticipated by the Jesuit Center for Theological Reflection, JCTR. In December 2023, the crisis reportedly posed a threat to human dignity, which underscores the significance of the worth of every individual. It is critical to recognize that having a life where individuals can afford the basic needs such as food, shelter, and cardinal aspects of human dignity. The cost of living is measured by the Jesuit Center for Theological Reflection. Basic needs of nutrition baskets for Lusaka stood at 9,000 for the month of January 2022, and then pretty much they tabulate how it has been moving. So yeah, this is the Catholic body of fathers that does this research. So they've made the publication of their findings. And since then, people have been putting out statements that the president was issuing during opposition. So this is one of the statements to say, if a person were to die of hunger, my presidency, I would seriously evaluate whether I am fit to continue leading the nation. This is deeply troubling, and I cannot contain my displeasure. So this is Hakainde Hichilema in opposition. Now people are asking to say, the same situation is happening now. Aren't you going to do as you said? So they've just been using his words against him at this point. Now there's an accusation to say Mimi smuggling by PF big wings. By PF big wings are involved. So these are just accusations. There's no substance to it so far, and no evidence. And then Dr. Nevas Mumba slams the opposition alliance. If you remember in yesterday's broadcast, I mentioned to you to say NDC and a couple of other opposition teams or parties, Hari Karava and a bunch of them, that did that press conference where Edgar Lungu was, had made an alliance. And then Mao Sampa issued a statement to say the likelihood of that succeeding is highly unlikely. Same thing with Dr. Nevas Mumba. He has the same view, because up to now they've not appointed who their candidate is going to be, and it looks like they haven't decided. There is that tussle of power within the team where you could see, because right now you've got that lady who's leading Heritage Party as a chairperson or something, and then there's Sequiva Scotta, another form of interim chair, just some confusion. Two chairpersons and board. There's no order. That's what it looks like. Like there's a tussle of power. So Dr. Nevas Mumba has issued a statement in that regard. And he also has to say the situation that the country is currently facing, who's to blame, where did it start from, in as much as the results are being witnessed now in terms of the effects. He says this was instigated by the PF. That's Dr. Nevas Mumba for you. You can find his thoughts on his page. And President Hakainde Hichilema makes appointments and transfers various service commissions and the Drug Enforcement Commission. So he has made a couple of shuffles. This was signed by Gray Hamasaka, Chief Communication Specialist at State House. Another position that you can talk about is that, because ideally the president is supposed to have presidential spokesperson where Anton Wada was occupying, but since he was transferred to Tanzania, that position has not been occupied. And Masaka is like the top person in that position. So you see, it's a preview of being president. You can decide where you fill in individuals and you don't. So same thing applies to Home Affairs. Until further notice, Hayimbe is acting. And if anything changes, you'll be notified. Then there is this Lungu caused cholera government he allowed lawlessness and illegal buildings. So this is another statement that people have been having a foot there to say this has been 3 years since the PF left power. How can you still be referring to them? This was issued by Gary Nkombo, Minister of Local Government. That's Mr. Nkombo having a haircut and a beard shave. So now Emmanuel Mwamba responds to Gary Nkombo. He says, Gary is irrational ranting. Since he was named, referring to Gary Nkombo here, this is Emmanuel Mwamba writing. Since he was named as UPND best possible presidential candidate to attempt to salvage the lost political fortunes of the party to stay in power, Gary Nkombo has continued to issue terrible statements, in my view, to disdue those that may be in doubt of his loyalty to President Hakainde Hichilema. He appears willing to engage in foolishness and irrationality to appear to lower himself in the eyes of the greater leader. I understand his strategy. Robert Greene, in his 48 Laws of Power, first law says, never outshine the master. I guess Gary Nkombo is following the rule to the latter. I bet the man must just drink. I bet the man must just drink water. It's not your fault that many see leadership potential in you, and therefore don't destroy your potential by issuing reckless statements reckless and irrational statements. So referring to this particular statement where they're blaming Edgar Lungu to say is the cause of the cholera outbreak in 2023 when he's been out of office for the past 3 years. So Emmanuel Mwamba issued that. And then there's a bench warrant for Emmanuel Mwamba himself. So he wrote this earlier on. Court issues a bench warrant against Emmanuel Mwamba. While I am aware, I've been notified that Magistrate Trevor Kasanda has issued a bench warrant against me. We informed the court and communicated that I will be away for 10 days for a 10-day meeting in the United States and will be back on the 7th of February 2024. We thank God for everything. I know that God lives. I love my country dearly and I will fight all injustice. So today is the 7th. So he's on his way back from the US. And we wait and see how it works out. Most likely he's going to be arrested at the airport. So he's been out of the country for the past 10 days, but immediately he left, this bench warrant was issued. And then he says he notified them. How can they issue that bench warrant? So this is him, Emmanuel Mwamba, his wife, and his grandchild there, Jaden. So today he's back in the country, according to his statement. Let's see how it plays out. Most likely he will be arrested at the airport. Politics. In other news, Sampa is making a lot of news. So the people that you see in picture here, the gentleman in the khaki sort of suit, that used to be Chimbakambwiri's bodyguard. If you remember at some point when Chimbakambwiri fainted, that's the man that was behind him several times when he was writing stuff. He would use his back to write stuff. But he was off the grid for a while. But the past 2 months or so, he's been appearing with Sampa. It seems like he's now the official bodyguard for Sampa. Yeah. This is Mr. Sampa. And then now this is where the news comes in. Christopher Mvunga, this used to be the former bank governor just before the UPND took over office. And so he has issued, he has sued Sampa. So he says, Sampa dragged to court by ex-governor Chris Mvunga, who is seeking 100 million in damages for libel. Former central bank governor Chris Mvunga has sued expelled legislator Sampa for defamation in a case he filed in the High Court of Zambia, according to official documents in the deposits and stamped by the court's registry dated 5th February 2024. In the case, according to the filings, that Sampa recently caused and published on his widely followed Facebook page the Bayer story that claimed that the respected former bank governor had printed huge sums of money against the laws of Zambia, which he gave to non-associates in an action to tantamount to abuse of office. The decision to take Sampa to court by Mvunga through the counsel Dixon Jere comes after Sampa neglected to apologize and retract the false Facebook post in full after the former boss governor asked him to do so through his lawyers. Mr. Mvunga is now has now laid 6 claims against Sampa in the High Court following damages in the sum of 100 million kwacha or be further assessed. An injunction restraining Mr. Sampa from further mentioning him in any of his postings. So you see, pretty much Sampa is being sued for defamation of character. He had issued a statement against Chris Mvunga saying there was a story that was making rounds to say there was a print of money, a lot of print of money just before the elections to say he had authorized that printing of money, and now he's been sued to prove that case. Wait and see how it works out. So Sampa responds to that lawsuit. He says, it comes with a territory, and we're equal to the task. Count our opportunity to conduct a lifestyle audit on him, and we have assembled competent lawyers, and we will meet in court. So yeah, this, as you saw from the lawsuit that was issued against him, he was told not to ever mention him on his post. So ideally, he would have mentioned him in this particular post, but he just says, I'm going to sue him. He's doing a counter lawsuit for a lifestyle audit against Christopher Mvunga. But then again, in as much as he does a counter lawsuit, that does not negate or pretty much disrupt the current lawsuit against him. He has to prove those cases that he has been sued against to say, where is the evidence that the Chris Mvunga had authorized that the printing of that money? If he fails to prove that, he has to pay that 100 million kwacha or face jail sentence, according to that lawsuit, in as much as he sues for this lifestyle audit. And then someone, Makashi Mpundu, in his comment section, the same post that Sampa put up says, Ubupuba Pro Max, you are being sued for defamation. Not only were at the opportunity to check his lifestyle. Ndipo Zanya, 100 million kwacha. So pretty much, it's just logical. The two issues are not correlated. You're being sued for defamation. So you have to prove your case to say the information that you had published is factual. Then you can sue a person for any further issue that you have with him. Not trying to negate the fact to say this lawsuit that Sampa says is going to do against Chris Mvunga negates the other one. Anyway, I hope he knows what he's doing. Let him get good lawyers, because it does not look good. Just from a layman's point of view, this statement that is issued here has no substance, genuinely. He better prepare himself against the lawsuit that he's been given, not trying to counter it with something that is totally unrelated. In other news, Fred Member seems to be on the ground. Is doing his campaigns in Mwansabombwe. So this is where I said Fred members realize that opposition alliance, there's no clarity who's going to lead it. So he has just decided to focus on his party, because it seems like, it will be just a waste of time for you to keep meeting and with no defined leader. And then when the time comes to decide, then they're going to break apart eventually. So he has just gone on the ground and he's doing his campaigns. There's a by-election for a councillor in Mwansabombwe. So those are some of the pictures from that event where he's doing that particular campaign. That's the news, ladies and gentlemen.
Channel. Make sure you click on the subscribe button, you click on the notifications to get the notifications of every video that I upload. I try to upload every week, sometimes every day of the week, but definitely each week you expect a video. So make sure you click on the subscribe like this video, and there's much more on the playlist. So visit the channel and see you around.